Okay. Hi. Thanks for tuning in. This is my first time doing this, so I hope it goes smoothly. But I thought it would be fun to explore Lissa's tacos. She makes these dehydrated raw tacos in the dehydrator, and lots of toppings. And I thought maybe I would try to do that with you guys and see how it comes out. Um, there is a stencil that people are using. I don't have the stencil, so I'm just going to try to do it by hand and see what happens. I understand that if it's too thick, it'll be chewy. And if it's thinner, then that probably is where the crunchy comes in. So my name is Jennifer, and I'm whole food plant-based, gluten-free, SOFA's free, which means no salt, oil, sugar, flour, or alcohol. And it's basically helping me heal from lots of inflammatory issues. So anyhow, I just got back from a trip. I was in New York City and Niagara Falls and New Jersey. I had a wonderful time and got to see a lot of things and meet lots of people. But it's sometimes still difficult to eat this way when you're on these kinds of vacations, especially if you're in the tourist areas. And I was, because my whole point was to go be a tourist and see all of the sites that I had never seen. So anyways, I am going to start making some taco shells. So I'm wearing a weighted vest. If you haven't seen me before, I wear the weighted vest. I actually just upped my weight today. So this is with the vest. It's 8 pounds, and that's really super cool for me. The way that I'm recording it, if we get cut off, I'm just going to restart another one. So this will be part 1. So let me put this down here so you can see my board. And in the back, I have all kinds of goodies for different sections of different things that we can do. And I'm going to start with the hard shells. And the first thing, so she has a few different ways that she does the hard shells. She has a red, a gold, and a green. I'm just going to go ahead and do the original, the gold, which is more like a corn tortilla. And so the first thing she had us do is take organic corn, which I bought at the store, which in my area right now, we had a really hard time finding couldn't find organic corn. I had to drive around, call lots of stores, and I finally found some. So I just literally cut this raw organic corn off of the husk, or the cob. And so this is 5. So I'm going to use a food processor, and moved it over here so that we can kind of see what's going on. This particular one is a Breville. It's a 16 cup. It has a smaller insert cup, but we're going to use the big one. And so we basically are going to just pour in the corn, five gigantic things of corn. And if you want to get the recipe book, it's a PDF, it's an ebook, and you can go to Lissa's. I have no affiliation. You can go to Raw Food Romance. That's her site, and she's amazing. She's got so many recipes. But the purpose for me to share this is so that we can continue to learn that it's as easy or as difficult as you want it to be to eat this way. This is a little bit fancier, because there's a lot of steps, but you don't have to. You can eat this way and be very simple, which is what I normally do, but I'm really enjoying trying new things. So I went ahead and put that in there, and then I've got some ground flaxseed that I'm going to pour in. And then I'm going to do some garlic powder and some onion powder, which I already pre-measured, which is great. Oh, and some miso paste and turmeric, which I didn't put out yet, so I'm going to grab that. So you can just, here is the miso paste and the turmeric. I'm pretty sure I have in here somewhere. Oh, man. Might have to add that in a little bit. I don't don't think I have any right here, actually. So I'm just going to go ahead and add this. This particular miso I've shown before when I've done stuff with Janet. This is the chickpea I use. There's different other kinds. And so I just got to get a little scoop of this. I'm going to pour this in here. Da, 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 da. Okay. And it's asking for turmeric. You know, I don't really have any dried turmeric, but I do actually have some fresh turmeric, which I didn't really plan for this. So I think I'm gonna shred some up and throw the fresh one in. I hope the moisture from it doesn't really make a difference. I don't see it why it would, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Turmeric is an amazing antioxidant, and this is the root. And I buy it in these little bags at my local store. You can buy it out of the bags in some other stores, but I just happened to be at a store where it came in a bag. And so I'm just gonna grate it and throw it in, and that's basically it. So I'm gonna put this last thing in here, and I'll point the camera down so you can watch how I do this. And you could even cut off the little end. Some people, this stains your hands, so if you're concerned, then you would want to wear gloves. But some people like to peel the skin off. I don't. I just do it and go from there. So I think that is probably plenty. This tool that I'm using is amazing. It's really good for rinds and all kinds of different, you could use it on ginger, rinds from any kind of citrus. And gosh, I'm forgetting right now what it's called. I will tell you in a minute. So I actually have a little extra here. So I'll just, let's see. I'll just scoop it up and set it aside for now. Okay. So what is the name of that? Oh, it's a microplane. It's a microplane. This is a microplane and it's great. All right, so I'm just gonna rinse the microplane off because we're gonna use it if I get to some of these other recipes. And it looks like someone wants to join us. Yay, I think it's Janet. Let's see. Hey, Janet. Hi, it's working.
Yay.
So I was just in the middle of doing this, the corn, and I just finished putting everything in here. So I was just about to blend it up when you popped on. I just put everything in here. I have.
You look great.
Thanks. Yeah, it's so good to have you on here. And I have, I did not have turmeric powder, so I used fresh turmeric. So we'll see if that makes a difference with the moisture or not.
Oh, I use fresh.
Oh, okay. So that
No problem. Yeah.
should be good then. And so now I'm just gonna, I got everything in here and now I'm just gonna give it a whirl.
Great.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. I'll just keep going until it gets I think the consistency should be like pancake batter, right?
Well, maybe not quite that. I mean, it'll be a little grainy because it's corn, but yeah, kind of like pancake batter.
Okay, well, I'll keep going because it looks a little chunky still, but I think we're getting places.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, I found ground cherries.
Well, I'm going to scrape down the sides a little bit, but it's looking good. How exciting. I can't wait to make these corn hard shell tortilla taco shells. Okay, I'm going to show you and you tell me what you think. Let's see.
It's hard for me to tell. Here, let me make you bigger. Yeah, that looks good.
Seems good. Okay. So, well, what I want to say is because I don't have a stencil, I actually took this little plate and it's like for a teacup, and I took a tape measure and I measured because the stencil has 4-inch and 6-inch. And so if I go from the edge to the edge, it's a little bit more, it's like a little more than 6 inches. It's 6.5 inches basically.
Oh,
So
that'll work.
and then if I go from the inside of the plate, or maybe where this white edge is to the other white edge, it's 4. So I'm going to use it kind of as a base, and I'm going to try to do it without the stencil. So this is the size. And then once they're done enough, you fold them and we'll put them in these other trays, which will probably be a different day. But I have these ready to go. And these
I made all 6-inch last time and they were great.
Oh, really? Okay. So
Because
I'm going to give myself this guide, and yeah, I'm going to see how this works out. And I don't know, I'm going to try to scoop it with this. But if it doesn't work, then I'll try something else. So
that's what they use.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's what Nate used when he made them.
I'm going to do 2 squirts and see what happens here. And
I'm looking for tomato juice.
Let's see.
Tomato juice.
The hardest part is
tomato juice.
Out the thickness.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm looking all in the tomato aisle. Of course, it's not in the tomato aisle. Silly me. Sorry, Jen.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm almost done.
I was just saying that I think the hardest part without having a stencil is the thickness, to figure out the thickness.
Right. That's exactly it. Yeah.
I'm going to play around with it here, and
if anybody can do it, you can.
Oh, well, let's see. So this looks pretty good in terms of size. I don't know if you can tell the thickness or not, but I cannot see through it.
It looks great, Jennifer.
So I'm going to try. Thank you. I'm going to try to do it. So that was two of these scoops. I'm going to do one.
Okay.
So this first one, I guess, was a half a cup. And now I'm going to just try this second one with the one, which is probably right. You probably said it's a 1/4 cup. So let me spread this out and see what we can do here. Oh, see, this is harder because it's thinner, of course. You have less, so I can push too hard with the spatula.
I mean, I used my offset spatula and, was real careful, just like with the wraps.
Oh, yeah, I do have an offset spatula, but
you definitely want it thinner than what we were doing with the wraps.
Yeah, so,
oh, they're so good, Jennifer.
The idea of not having a stencil is just to show that, you can still be successful with not always having the gadgets.
Yeah. I mean, Lori did her first ones without a stencil.
So.
Yeah, absolutely.
This looks way different with the smaller portion. And I think this one might be too big or too thick. But I'm going to leave it and see how it goes.
Yeah. Experimenting. Yeah.
So there's 2 of them, and I'm just going to keep going here.
That's great.
And it's more time consuming. Now this one's a little over this scoop. I'm just going to have different measurements. I hope I can remember what I did here. And you know what? Just for fun, I think I'll also try this one with this. Oh, this is even nice too. The offset spatula. Just to play. So, what's interesting is the one that I overfilled is probably the right diameter.
Yeah.
2 scoops. This one was 1 scoop, and I think it's going to be, the diameter is much smaller. This was.
Yeah, we'll do a little bit more than 1 scoop. 1 scoop.
Well, he did too. This one is like a scoop and a half.
Oh.
I'm just.
And it doesn't get big enough?
it's just not as big as the plate that I'm kind of using to measure. Maybe I'll do a scoop and a little blurb. Just trying to play and figure out what works when you don't have a stencil, because you can do it. You can do it. You don't need gadgets to do this stuff. I mean, it does make it easier, but it's okay. And so basically, all you do is finish filling up these trays with your shapes, and I'm going to put it in the dehydrator for like overnight, and then tomorrow I'll flip them over and maybe come on here and show how the next one goes. So for now, I'm just going to put this aside and finish making the trays later, because I only have a certain amount of time on here. I'll just show how these look. And what I want to do is start doing some of the other toppings. Yeah, okay, so that's the shells. Now I think I'm going to do her salsa. She's got a super salsa, and that should be pretty easy.
It is.
It's super good. I know you made it.
It's super good.
And there's several variations of different ways that you can spice it up, or with all of these. And you can even put your own ideas in if you. I like to make stuff once the way it's supposed to be, and then add to it from there. So okay, so this is going to be pretty simple. I've got all the stuff ready to go here, and I'm just going to chop a little bit and then stick that in the fridge.
Green beans. I can find the low salt, but I can't find the no salt, and I know you had them.
So I have these tomatoes that I rinsed, and I'm going to chop them up. Chop up the tomatoes and stick them in the bowl for now. So I just poured them in there, but I'm actually going to take them back out, and as I chop them, put them back in the bowl. So that's not good. Let me put this back here for now. And here we go. So if you put this in the food processor, it will work, but it won't be chunky. And I really wanted it to be somewhat chunky. So, it's totally up to you how much time you have in the kitchen. And one of my favorite tools I'm using for something else right now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm using it to hold some jalapenos for another section, but I really need this. So I'm going to just move it, and then I can show you. This guy, I love this guy. And this just scrapes it. You just scrape it on and scrape it in the bowl. And so we're going to cut up all of these. I keep moving this. And then we're going to cut up some corn. So I already did the other corn ahead of time. I'm going to do this one on camera. So, you could just see it's raw corn, and you just cut it. It just cuts right off. It's not difficult. And there you go. And organic corn, raw, surprisingly, the first time I tried it, I was surprised. It's delicious. And I didn't realize we could eat corn that's not cooked, but you certainly can. If you're buying frozen corn, I learned from Janet that they blanch it. So although you could still use it, it isn't considered totally raw. So I'm just going to put this in there with the tomatoes and just continue to fill it up. And let's see. Well, I'm just going to continue to fill the bowl and keep putting these in here. And then this calls for jalapenos. but I have serrano peppers that I grow and I have a ton of them. So instead of doing a big jalapeno pepper, I did several serrano peppers that I'm going to throw in here in a minute.
Yum.
You don't have to
Mm.
follow it exactly perfectly. I mean, I tried to, but if you have some homegrown peppers like I do, and it's not the same pepper, I tend to just use up what I have. Or, if I didn't have cherry tomatoes and I had a different kind of tomato, like I would do that. And you do that a lot too, Janet, because of all the stuff that you grow.
Do what?
You tend to use what you have, like if
Oh,
you're
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
garden.
Yes.
It's really nice. I'm just chopping. I thought about doing this ahead, but I didn't want to chop everything and do everything ahead. I want you to be able to see that it doesn't take that much time.
That's the thing. So quick.
Some of it does, but
And once you get it chopped, it's so quick you wouldn't be on long.
yeah, yeah. So if you can see, this is. I'll put the bowl here in front of you, and yes. So just continuing to chop this up. And for time, I think I will go ahead and show you. Let's see. Okay, so let's see. These are the serrano peppers. And I'm going to cut them up and put them in here and finish putting the corn in. And I've got some of these beautiful onions, scallions. So I'm going to put in some scallions and some fresh mango, which I'm going to chop up also, and a red bell pepper. The red bell pepper, I kind of figured out, I'm going to move this again. I kind of figured out a way that the bell pepper, can be cut. So I kind of go this way, behind, back, and then I might start it here, and I just push this inside. And what happens is you don't have any waste here. And I can just take the center out and chop it. So that's always fun. And then for the other side, I could do it. I just take this part and I push it in. And usually it's pretty clean. So you don't waste anything. That's my pepper tip. So anyhow, I'm going to chop these up and add the mango. And we should be ready to roll. That'll be this. So let's keep going here. Hopefully you can see. And you want it small enough, so that it's like a little bit bite size. And if I get a couple of tiny seeds from the inside of the bell pepper, I'm not concerned. It's fine. You can just eat those. I try to clear most of them out, but it's fine. All right. So have that pretty chopped, but I think I'm going to even chop it up a little bit more. So it's more red colored, but it certainly is going to be a pretty salsa.
Yes.
You can make so many different kinds of salsas. And they're so flavorful. You can put them on anything. I mean, my goodness. Just eat it the way it is with nothing, with a spoon. Right?
Hey, Jennifer, I got frozen corn because they had no organic fresh corn.
Oh, see, so that's
But they
okay.
got organic frozen. I asked if they knew, if it was raw, but of course they don't know.
Oh, well, I thought you had told me that it means it's blanched if it's frozen.
It can, and you just have to find out if they blanched it or not. Now this one says, it doesn't say that it's raw. It says thoroughly cook it before you eat it. So I'm hoping that it is raw.
There we go. So I have the red pepper done, which is great. And I'm just going to continue to fill this bowl.
This side.
I'm going to do one more corn to add to it.
6142.
And I'm just going to finish this, cutting up these tomatoes. And, I typically don't put corn in my salsa. So this is kind of a nice treat to have corn in my salsa, although I've eaten like a corn salsa, but this one is her fully loaded salsa, which makes sense because it's got, all these different things. The mango and the two different onions. We're going to put this onion in there too. And yeah, it's going to be tasty. So continuing to throw this in. And so I'm going to move on to the onion for a little bit. So I don't want to bore you with all of the tomato, but this is already measured out and I just want to chop it a little bit finer. And like I said earlier, you can put this in the food processor and whip it up quickly. I just decided to follow her instructions and have it a little chunkier because if you do put it in the food processor, it is going to be kind of soupy. So, and I know better. I shouldn't use my knife to scrape. That wears the knife down. That's why I have this thing. When you use it, it really wears the blade down. So if I need to use it, what I should be doing, and I know better, is using the backside. But just notice that I did that way. Okay, so that's that. Now I'm gonna chop up some. I couldn't find fresh mango right now for whatever reason. So this is, slightly thawed mango that I had from Costco. I buy this and make smoothies and, anytime I need, sometimes I'll make like a raw, like a sushi style type of thing with the nori sheets or a wrap that has collard greens, and sometimes it's nice to add a sweetener, and mango is a great one to put in there. So I'll just take these chunks and I'll just cut them up just bite size like that and add it to whatever. In this case, we're putting it in the fully loaded salsa. So I'm kind of excited about this. And the pieces don't have to be perfect, just bite size so that you can not have, a big chunk of one thing and everything else is like not. So I have been experimenting with raw with Janet and some other people that I know. And at first, the first couple days, we were following a menu, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is like so much chopping. But as time went on, it wasn't really. I mean, it was at the beginning. But anyhow, it's all good. And I keep trying, trying other recipes because what I'm finding is that I feel really good. And when I feel good, I have higher energy. And most importantly, I feel like I can tell that my inflammation is going down. So that's really good. I think we're probably going to run out of time on this particular feed, but I'm going to just try to chop a little bit more. And
So sorry, Jennifer. I thought you were muting me and I I should have thought to mute myself before I went up to the
Oh,
for checkout.
it's no problem. I couldn't figure out how to mute you. I was looking.
Well, maybe yeah, that's right. You can mute me because Nina does it all the time.
Yeah, I just don't know because I'm so new at all of this.
Right, right. Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's why I just said, "Oh, Janet, mute yourself."
Yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. So, I'm gonna finish up this part, and then it looks like my, I'm on the free meeting, so it's gonna end. So what I
Yeah.
might do is just start another one and do a few more recipes. And I can send you the link, or I can, whatever works, because I know you're out and about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could just, it's the same one as this, right?
I
Or
don't
did you,
know if it will work.
I mean, Zoom usually, you can assign your own personal Zoom ID, or you can have Zoom generate you one. Do you remember what you clicked?
I probably just had them generate me one, but I do want to
Okay.
show that this is not everything that needs to be in here, but it is coming along. I still need to put the jalapeno peppers, some more tomato, and some more salsa, but and then some seasoning. So I might just finish up on the next one if it cuts out.
Yeah. So if I don't have the ID, then I won't know how to get back in. But if you use the same ID, then of course I can.
Yeah, I can send it to you, and you can
Yeah.
decide if it
Post it
works.
to the WhatsApp again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so in the meantime, I'm just finishing up here, and I mean, this looks good.
Yeah, I love that super salsa.
Well, this is my first time making. I mean, I make salsa all the time, but this is my
Yeah,
first time making it.
me
So,
too.
so
In fact, I just realized I don't have the jalapenos either. So I might have to go back and get me some.
yeah. Now the jalapenos that you'll get, those are like so much bigger looking than my serranos. So to make
Yeah, but the
it one
serranos are more
and
powerful.
yeah, these are. But what I'm doing to try to cut the heat a little bit to make it more similar is I take out most of the seeds,
Right.
so that maybe the heat will be more similar to a jalapeno.
Sorry, I should have muted myself again.
Oh, you're fine. It was just I, I didn't know how to do it. So that's another thing I get to learn how to do that.
I know, me too. I don't think I've ever done it either.
But this is so fun, and the payoff is how tasty and delicious everything ends up being at the end.
Yep.
And
It's
so
really,
I just love that.
they're so tender and melt in your mouth, those tacos. I just love them. In fact, that's what I'm going to have for lunch today.
Woo! See, you already have yours ready to roll.
Mine are already made.
Yeah, I
So all
know.
I have to do is fill them. Yeah.
Too bad I can't come over and share them with you while these cook. Then we could share these,
That would be so fun. I would love that.
wouldn't it? So this is
Ooh. They have hatch chilies. Have you ever had fresh hatch chilies?
I have. They're known. They're grown around here, and it's like a big deal in Arizona.
And are they good?
Well, this was a long time ago that I had. Yeah, they are good.
Are they hot?
Yeah. I mean, there is definitely some spice to it. Also, I had them where they grilled them. I wouldn't do that now because now I don't have the oil. So I don't recall really using them raw, but try it.
I'll just do jalapenos because we're going away. So and I need to eat them before I go, or they won't be any good by the time I get back. So I'll experiment when I get. Well, they'll probably be gone. Oh well, no worries.
There's always next year.
That's right.
Always next year. So,
Costco had no watermelons, but I got one at Sprouts.
oh, you're kidding. Yeah,
Nope.
Costco, they sometimes don't have what you go there for.
Oh, all right. I'm going to mute Jennifer.
Hey, so I'm just finishing up and just chopping this a little bit more. Pouring it in here. Whoops, dropped a little. Clean countertop. Okay, so I am going to, where is my, I'm going to use another spatula and just kind of show you how this is all tossed. And then I'm going to add some lemon and some chili powder and a little cumin and the serrano peppers. And that is going to be the salsa. So I might run out of time to show the rest of that, but that's basically what it is. And I'm going to continue with another session to do a few more. Let's see. We have a couple minutes left. So maybe what I'll do is try to do the seasoning, chili powder and cumin. Let me see what I did with that.
Costco does have pomegranates.
Oh, I love pomegranates.
Me too. I love them on everything, in everything.
Yeah,
Just
pomegranates rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, half a teaspoon. Okay.
Hey, and there was cut up butternut squash at Costco. So I'm going to make the ginger squash soup.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. One thing I've noticed is that she likes everything super spicy. So
yeah, I learned that really quick with her. So I just do the spice I like.
Yeah, and I'm just doing a pinch because we're going to have all that fresh stuff. And
Yeah,
so,
me too. Oh, with the chipotle?
Yeah, let me see how much time we have. We have 2 minutes, so I'm going to just try to get the lime juice in there, and then I'll cut up these serrano peppers and add it, and that will be the salsa.
Right. I'm gonna make some as soon as I get home because I'm all out because I put it on everything. I just love it.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, it is good. Definitely, for sure. I'm
Really
gonna go
cool.
ahead. Actually, I think I'm gonna use, I have a lime tree, but it's a different kind of lime. It's called a kaffir or kefir. I'm not even sure how to say it. And I'm just gonna put it, it is a little bit different of a flavor. Part of it doesn't look so great. So I'm gonna just throw that there. And I'm just gonna squeeze this in. It's very, very juicy, this lime. It certainly gives you a whole bunch of goodness. And I might add some more or lemon. And that's it. This is it.
That's
So
awesome.
I'm gonna just add the pepper at the end, but here we go. And I'm gonna start a new one here. Anyways, I finished the salsa minus the jalapeno because I have to cut that up, the serrano I'm using. And I ended up doing the rest of the corn tortillas, and I think it ended up being 4 trays. The last tray wasn't full, so I'll have to count exactly how many, which I can do. I can actually show you the trays. So I got 18 trays. I got 18 rounds, and this is a tray of 5. And I have this Silpat that I use for my dehydrator, but you don't have to. And I didn't have enough, so on the last one, I ended up using parchment paper, which is fine. And it was starting to flicker, so I just kind of pulled it and tucked part of the paper underneath this part that part of the tray. And so it's fine. So let me put that back and we'll go from there. All right, so the next thing I want to do is her sour cream for the tacos. And so we need a few things here that I already have ready to go. Everything else, I pretty much think it's mostly chopped. So let me just move some stuff. And so we're going to be, let's see, using a few of these ingredients. And I think we're going to, oh, you know what? I know I'm late to the party, but I just got a NutriBullet and I haven't even used it yet. So maybe I'll try to use that with you guys and see if it works out. So let me grab that because I just washed all the pieces and everything. This is a NutriBullet 900. I don't know if anybody uses this, but what I was finding is I was having trouble making these sour cream or cashew sour cream, you know, sauces and different things in the Vitamix. It just was coming out grainy and there wasn't enough. And so I had heard that this might be better for these particular things. So let's give it a try. So the first thing I'm going to put in here, it looks like Janet's going to join us. So that'll be good because she has one of these machines. So let's bring her in. Okay, so what I was saying is that I'm going to try my NutriBullet, and it's good that you're here because you can help me through this. This will be my first time. So I'm plugging it in right now. And I'm making the sour cream. And so I'm gonna, I've been soaking these cashews, so I'm just gonna drain off the water. We don't want to use that water. And the reason that you soak them is so that it will be easier to grind up. So I'm gonna pour these in here. Whoa, let's see. Okay. And then I'm gonna pour in some chopped onion, which I already pre-did this time. So we're ready to roll. And then I'm gonna do some lemon juice. And let me get the lemon juice. Whoops. Let's see, how much lemon juice? And I do use fresh lemon, but I've been using these and it's just so convenient for me. So because I was traveling, I didn't have any more fresh. And when I went out yesterday to the store, I forgot to pick up fresh lemon. I did get lime. And plus I have the lime tree. So I'm just going to use this. So let me measure out the amount that we need here. There we go. Okay. And so we've got all of this in here. I need some apple cider vinegar, which I have sitting here, and I have this brand. I have also used Bragg's. Just anything I try to get that's organic and one ingredient. That's what I want. So I'm going to do this. And the apple cider vinegar, I think, brings out the tartness that's similar to a sour cream. Although I was never really into sour cream, but I was into sour cream dips that had like Lipton onion soup mix. That was one that I had a hard time with. But anyhow, I have a little bit more water, and I bet I could make a version of it. So put a little water in, and I hope that this is going to work. So I'm putting this on nice and tight, and let's see if I can. I'll just put it here on a flat surface, and I'll turn the camera a little bit. And whoa. Okay, although that seems to be working, it also unscrewed it. So let me unplug this. And all right. Well, has that ever happened to anyone? And if so, what do you do about it? See, look, I cleaned it out already. But look, see, it kind of spilled out the side a little.
My goodness.
Yeah, but that's because I never did this before. So, but hey, it's blended, so it worked. I think it just loosened up for whatever reason. So I'll have to make sure that I don't have it loose at all.
Yeah.
Certainly smells good. Smells like sour cream. And I just don't like to waste. So I try to get every little bit that I can.
I'm the same way.
Are you? Yeah, it's like we've got such good ingredients, and it looks like it's difficult to get every little crevice out of this, but I try. So let's just see. There it is. And What do you think of the consistency? I still see that it's a little grainy.
It looks great, but from what I can see, it's up to you. You're right there.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely better than before. So
And the vitamins.
let's just try a little bit more. And I will practice keeping the lid on, for crying out loud. So
NutriBullet first. It leaked.
well, you know, it was probably because I'm inexperienced with the NutriBullet. But let me try again. I'm going to wipe the outside of this, and then because this is it, the sour cream is done, and then I'll move on to the next thing. So, you know, it's all part of learning.
That's right.
And that's why I decided to do it like live or whatever, recording this, because I don't want it to be like, I just want it to be what it is. And like real life. Yeah, it's like real life. Yeah. So, all right, let's try this again. And I'm even gonna get a towel.
Natural. I'm making super salsa now, and I'm making a salad.
Ah, you're making super salsa. We just made it. Okay, so I am gonna consider this on tight, wiped up, and I gotta plug it back in. Always unplug things when you're messing with the inside. So,
Sure. Okay.
all right, here I go.
So I'll get things. It's ready to go. I just need to marinate it tomorrow.
Okay, here we go.
Jennifer's making tacos today, and then tomorrow.
You know what? First of all, I think I realized what happened.
What happened?
When I first put it in there, I turned it and I like thought we had to hold it. You don't really have to hold it. So that's probably why it was fine at first. I probably unscrewed it, not really realizing it.
Oh,
but anyhow, I think that this is good now. So I'm going to call it a win. So I'm going to keep the NutriBullet.
Okay.
And practice, practice, practice. Okay. So I'm going to find a container to pour that in. This is probably too big of a container. So let me find a little bit smaller one. There we go. I've got a container. And let's pour it in here, and then we'll have the sour cream portion ready for this for tomorrow or whenever it's ready. Oh yeah, much better, much better. Yay. Okay. So you can see it's really creamy, and I'm going to pour it in here so you could see. Gosh, what a difference.
It's amazing how you could change the consistencies depending on how you blend.
Just depending on how you blend. This is really super great. So I'll play with that some more, but oh my goodness, how fun is this? Here we go. Ready? Wow, that is really creamy. Yes, it needed to go back in for a little bit more. And I'm so glad I did that, because this is like night and day compared to what I had been doing, because I had been using my Vitamix, like I had mentioned. And, you know, for certain things that are either small quantities, just, you know, it just didn't give me the consistency that I was looking for. Although I love my Vitamix and I use it for so many things almost every day. So I finished making the sour cream. Isn't that beautiful? And I think putting it in the refrigerator is going to thicken it up a little bit. So I am super, super excited about this. This one came out the best that I've ever done. And even though I had an issue with the NutriBullet, I think it's a win-win. Now these blades are super, super sharp, so I don't want to do anything. And anyways, that's the end of that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is put this in the refrigerator, and we'll move on to another topping. The thing about these tacos is there's so many different pieces to making it. And I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to make spicy walnut and mushroom grounds with marinated citrus bell peppers. So I'm going to use a food processor for this. So let me grab that because I moved it out of our way. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, it said to soak some walnuts in water, which I have done. And they're right here. And so it says 2 to 4 hours, and it's probably been a few hours, maybe 2 to 3. So I'm going to drain the water off of these and start just putting stuff in the food processor. So there's that. And then it calls for some mushrooms, the cremini mushrooms. So I'm going to throw those in there. And some chopped onion. Let's see. And let's see, it also calls for 3 cloves of garlic. It calls for some of my serrano pepper, which I'm going to use. So the onion, I just have to, I cut it all up, but I didn't measure it. So I'm going to go with that. So we've got onion and just a little bit more onion in there. All right, let's see what else we have. A medjool date. You always have to make sure that you check inside and make sure that you get the pitted, even if it is pitted, get the seed out because that can mess up your machines. And then I'm going to do some lime juice. And I think I'm going to do some lime zest also. I think this one has the lime zest. Yeah. So I'm going to take the microplane back out. And this is a clean lime. And you want to make sure that you just get the top part of it. If you could see the green in there. Because if you just go over it in the same spot over and over, you're going to get that white part or that underneath part. I think they call it the pith. Anyhow, the flavor is not what we're looking for. So you just kind of want to go around wherever the green is, and same with lemons and oranges and any citrus that you do the microplane on to get the zest. You just want to make sure that you don't go and you move it around. And it's amazing. Zest has so much flavor. Oh my goodness. Boy, it smells great, the zest. So now I'm also going to put some lime juice in. I'm going to cut that and put the lime juice in. And, I have a few different gadgets for lime. I have this, or lime or lemon. I have this press. I feel like it works. It's fast. But I feel like it doesn't get it all out. So this is the Chef In brand, whatever. I don't know if anyone else has one that works better. I also used to have one of those ones that you put in there and I forget what you call it. But, I like the fork. I just put the fork in and kind of move it around. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing here. And I just kind of find that sometimes it's easier. Some people just use the whole lime, cut out, take the skin off. And I've done that too. with lemons. Limes are harder for me to do that with. So I'm just gonna put that in there. And let's see what else we have. Some seasonings and we're ready to go. So let me get the seasonings that we need. Whoops, we're gonna do some chili powder, cumin, oregano. Let me get those. Chili powder, cumin. Chili powder, cumin, and oregano. Okay, so I did not measure these out yet. And I also need some paprika. Gosh, see, and everything is really spicy. And chipotle powder, which is chipotle powder. Thought I had it out. Maybe I forgot to bring it out. But okay, I've got it. So let's start with the first one. Oh, and also fennel and caraway seeds. So I've got that here too. And I've never really used caraway seeds. I just bought this caraway seeds. So I'm going to try this. Let's see, what do we need here? Let's see, a little bit of this guy. And the fennel, I've got some fennel. They look very similar, fennel. Whoops. They really look a lot like each other. Kind of a licoricey type of smell, if you're unfamiliar with these seasonings. The seeds, they, let me just show you. You know, they're like, kind of a long shape. And so that's that. Let's see what else. We're almost done here. So the chili powder calls for a lot of chili powder. I'm not going to do as much as it calls for because although I like spice, I also, you know, don't like it so spicy for me that I can't really enjoy what it is. So I'm going to cut it in half, I think, and just do just a little bit. And then we've got some cumin. Cumin is so good and so many different things. Whoops. Boy, I'm sure having real life happen, aren't I? And let's see, cumin. Oh my goodness. You know, okay. And then I'm going to do oregano, which is next. Okay. Writing on these are very tiny, so it's hard for me to see it sometimes in this particular recipe. But I'm excited about this walnut mushroom. It's like the filling that's going to go inside the taco. Smoked paprika is next. And that is just going to go in there. And then it calls for some chipotle. I think I'm just going to do like, I mean, I don't know, just like a little. Okay, and so that's it. So let me put the lid on. I'll have you watch this. Oh, it definitely looks like, I'll show you. When that's dehydrated, I could see how that would be a crumble. I'm just gonna scrape it down and do one more. I think it's good. Smells good too. All right, I'm going to say that's good. So what we are supposed to do, I think, is put this in the dehydrator for a few hours. And then halfway through, you know, I'll probably move it around a little bit. And then there's marinated bell peppers that I could do. Okay, so I just finished doing the walnut mushroom with you guys. And I'm going to take it out and basically put it on a tray. Here's what it looks like in there. I'm going to put it on a dehydrator tray. I don't have, you know, because I'm already using for the taco shells all of my Silpat type things that, and so I could use more parchment paper, but I think what I'm going to use instead is the sheet that I use when I make the wraps. So as long as you have something, then it's all good. So I'm going to use this. If you haven't seen it, this is for Lissa's wraps, and I'm just going to try it. So I've got the regular ones in there, like the Silpat sheets, and I've got the a little bit of parchment paper, and now I'm going to try this. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour it on here. There's no shape. I'm going to show you what I'm doing. There's no shape. There's just getting it on here. And just going to kind of break it up. Kind of does look like, you know, it's going to be, oops. And I just want to break it up so that it's not so thick and in areas that it doesn't dry out. So, boy, this is going to be yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm excited. Okay, and I think that's probably going to be good. So this will go into the dehydrator for a few hours. And then I'll do the marinated bell peppers. And that's the last part that I'm going to do for today. So let me put this tray in there in the dehydrator, which I have sitting on the far end of my kitchen. The next piece that whoa, sorry, is the marinated bell peppers. And those I have not cut up yet, but it's talking about julienning them. So I'm going to take out my little julienne piece here. And this thing is really dangerous. I have cut my finger very, very badly on this before. So I never use it without the steel glove. This is like supposed to be cut resistance blade. And I'm all about it. So let me just bring over the other things here and clear some space out so you can see what we're going to be doing with the last part of this. Well, there also is, I was also going to make a nacho sauce, but I think I'll do that tomorrow when I flip those. So let's see, what do we need? We need one red, one yellow, and one green. I don't have yellow, so I kind of went with orangish yellow because the store didn't have any. And I'm just going to rinse these off and julienne them. And then it calls for more jalapenos, which I'm going to use the serrano again, and I kind of chopped them up already, so that's ready to go. And so I just need to figure out a nice bowl, which I think I'll use my big bowl for this. And it calls for 2 cloves of garlic. You know, I've always wondered about what's the best way to wash fruits and vegetables. And I've tried sprays, and then I've learned there's oil in them and different things that I don't want on my food. Soaking them in vinegar or baking soda, and I'm just back to washing them. Sometimes I soak my green leaves, but anyhow, I'm not ready for this quite yet. La la la. So I'll just put that there. And I will do my magic again with the way that I like to cut my peppers. We have these ready to julienne, but I'm going to set them aside in the bowl for a minute and make the marinade up. So I need miso paste, it calls for lime juice, but I'm gonna, well, let's see if I have enough lime juice. I might have to put a little lemon. Garlic, grated cayenne pepper, and chipotle. So let me grab cayenne pepper and chipotle again. And here's the 2, some garlic, and we need the miso. I have right here in the refrigerator. I'm going to use the chickpea. Okay. So I'm going to get a measuring thing. You know, it seems like a lot, you know, to put all this together, and it might very well be for a lot of people. But once you do it, then you don't really have to, you know, you have leftovers and there's extra stuff, then, you know, you can use it on other things. I've taken some of the marinades and some different dressings and used it, water it down just a little bit as a salad dressing, and it's been great. So this away, I'm just gonna and I'm going to do some lime. My fork again. This calls for more lime than what I have. I have a tree, I could go get some, but I'm not going to. I think I'll just do a splash of lemon with it. There we go. Do a little splash of lemon. I believe that lemon and lime are kind of interchangeable. So, and then the grated garlic. So instead of grating it, which I could do with that microplane, I think I'm just gonna put it, you know, in this little gadget. The important thing about this is that you need to wash it out immediately, because this garlic press will get all messed up and be impossible to empty. So let's see. And then I just need cayenne and chipotle, but I'm not sure. I'm going to do half, you know, I'm just going to do a pinch and a pinch. You guys like spice? Oh my goodness, I get nervous about spice. But I do enjoy spice too. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of this. There we go. And let's see. So now I just have to mix this well. Can use, and that's it. And then you just let it marinate. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a minute so I can take the peppers out, because that's what we're going to use, and put my glove on. And I had it just sitting here. That's the serrano peppers. So I'm going to just put those in the bowl. And that's it. Okay. Here is my julienne thing. Yeah, I was in New York and New Jersey. I went to Ethos Farm. It was amazing with Dr. Ron Weiss. And I was able to visit some friends and be a tourist and see some relatives. And it was just amazing because I'd never been to New York. And then we went to Niagara Falls, and that was pretty spectacular too. So I'm gonna just see. Oh yeah, I like how that's coming out. I'm gonna turn it the other way. So I have it on the thinnest setting of my julienne thing here. Okay, so and take the glove off. Look at how pretty these peppers are. Look at this. I love all the colors. And I'm just going to cut them in half because they seem like it would be a lot. And I'm just going to put them in here. And when I get these all done, I'll add the marinade, and that's it. And then, I mean, I said we're not going to do anymore, but I actually do have one other last thing I could do. We'll see how we're doing on time. And there we go. So we have this all cut up. Looks great. I'm just going to kind of toss it. Oh, I shouldn't. I shouldn't with my bare hands because I put the serrano peppers in there. So I'm going to toss it with that, and I'm going to toss in the marinade that we made for it. Yum. So just like with anything, you know, you can make sauces and dips that are not good for you, that hurt your endothelial cells and other parts of your body, or you can make something delicious that is going to taste good and it's not going to hurt you. And, you know, it's just an adaptation. But eating raw has really been a game changer for me. It's taught me a lot. And although I might not be 100%, I've really upped my raw, and I just am enjoying playing with these things so much. So, you know, just trying to show that it's beautiful and it's tasty. And with any meal, you sometimes need to plan, but you don't have to do it this way. You can do it any other way. I sprout my lentils now, but you can eat cooked beans or lentils and potatoes and big salad. And, you know, that's good too. But anyways, these are my marinated peppers. And I'm going to put these, let's see what it says. If I put these in the dehydrator, okay, yes, transfer these in the dehydrator and let them soften up. And then once they're done, the walnut and this is going to get mixed together. So let me put this on another sheet. I wonder if I should just put it directly on this. Let's see, is there a lot of juice and liquid? So like I said before, I'm out of those sheets because I don't have as many as I have shelves or trays. So I'm just going to use a piece of parchment paper, and I'm going to tuck the edge underneath to help keep it down. And then I'm going to use the weight of this. There you go. Wow. Okay. I'm going to spread it out a little bit. Whoops, this didn't work this time. Let's see. There you go. And I'm just going to kind of spread this out a little bit on the tray. Would like to try to make it, you might have to use 2 trays. It's like kind of want it a little bit, you know, thinner than this. Yeah, I think I'm going to use a second tray paper. So let's see if I move some of these on here directly if I need the parchment paper. Let me just make sure that this is a little bit less crowded. And I don't think it matters if you have them a little on top of each other. The idea is just to not have it, so many layers that it takes hours and hours. So, but the idea is you're going to put this stuff and I'm not planning to eat this today, right? This is for, tomorrow. And so the dehydrating process takes time. And so you want to, have a little bit of a plan if you're trying to do this raw. But I bet you could, if you didn't want to do this raw, you could just simply do it a similar thing with cooked foods too. And it's still better than standard American diet. Look at all the rainbow colors. And so I'm excited about this. I really am. I'm so grateful I stumbled upon community and people that are working on improving their health, because when you have your health, in my opinion, you have everything. Yeah, I was bedridden and very ill for a long time, and this has healed me and is allowing me to live life the way I'm supposed to be living it, filled with fun and adventure. And so I invite you to try this with me. So I'm going to go put this in and let it start doing its thing. And I'm going to come back on tomorrow to show the rest of this. And so I'll be flipping stuff over and the shells and showing that. And then I'll make the last thing there, the nacho cheese, and then we'll be set. All right. Bye for now. Thanks for joining.